Hey guys, we'll get started in just a few minutes here. AR, why don't you say a few words?
I would, but I'm going through the Discord of another Discord for trying to see if the damage control I was trying to do. I was doing my job.
It's been a glorious and an annoying week, hasn't it?
People are like, "Oh, this is the big announcement." Yeah, there won't be anything to replace Ghost Game after in April. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
we knew that for like a week now.
my favorite part is we'll get into that when we talk about what's replacing it. Dev, say a few words so we can confirm they can hear you.
I really want crepes. And also, I'm sad because I'm doing a podcast and my friends are deciding to watch Flight of Dragons.
I don't know what that is. My brain's like jumping and thinking about it's like there's too much shit nowadays to know everything.
Really cool Rankin Bass animation from the 80s.
Oh, for some reason I was trying to think of something new.
Oh, no. It's like,
Okay, yeah.
That
yeah, like
sounds
a few nights a week they do fun.
Okay.
yeah.
movie.
That sounds way too cool for Rankin Bass. So I'm interested.
It could be the Sanrio Christmas special with like giant killer rats and shit.
I expect that kind of thing from Sanrio.
True. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Nothing Sanrio does surprises me.
Welcome to the podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, Run with the Will, and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm AR Pulver, the only one on the internet whose bold prediction for Digimon Con actually panned out.
I'm DevQ and somehow I survived the football apocalypse and my city did not burn down.
How has it? I feel like I know how all of our weeks went. It's lots of stuff, lots of annoyance, and still lots of neat stuff.
I'm happy Phil is still standing.
I missed half of that, frankly.
Yeah, my hometown likes to occasionally destroy itself whenever something nice or not nice happens.
Well, that is a Super Bowl tradition, a town tearing itself apart. And as we
They
start,
also lost the World Series last year, so
And this year.
yeah, I'm really happy with the episode title this time. Time to show Dev and AR what I've come up with. That covers both
There.
main topics.
Get out.
No, I actually like that one, frankly.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
I could workshop it, but yeah, the idea is really good.
Yeah. We have a lot to go over, so we're just going to jump right into, hey, it's Ghost Game episode 63, Gluttony. And
that's what everyone's here for, right?
Honestly, this is one where, like, I see everything I wrote about it, and 90% of it my brain could jump past because we have so much other stuff to go through. And, like, this is, like, the quintessentially average, normal Ghost Game episode.
It sort of. It worked for me in a weird way. It had three different parts that weren't really particularly well connected to each other, but they all had the right vibe going on that it still kind of clicked with me. So I was okay with this
I'm
one.
trying to figure out how Ruli crunched into that fucking thing and didn't fuck up her teeth.
It must have still been digestible. Yeah. Like I think they were eating like what, ice cream or something?
No. She grabbed a handful
like
of she grabbed a handful of candy, and one of them crunched on her teeth when it should have been softer.
Okay, well, it still might have been.
Yeah.
Just really hard, but not.
So
jawbreaker or something.
We start off with someone in their kitchen just mowing through anything they can, and they're just upset that their hunger is not stopping. Then we get the old Mr. Fantastic action and their mouth. The weird thing is the mouth look, there's something about it familiar, but I can't place it.
I know, same. I was trying to figure out where that came from. You know what? It reminds me, I think, of the Judy type D Reaper.
That may be it.
That's where it is.
The problem is the problem is now my brain's going, well, what's that actually from?
Right.
Yeah. And then
Referencing a referencing a reference.
and then this is where like the show almost trips over itself in the setup. Ruli and her friends had her an all-you-can-eat cake place. They're happy. I like Angormon sitting up there reading. They're still mowing through cakes and candy. She thinks she gets something that hits her tooth a bit weird, and next day she's hungry no matter what she eats.
Mm-hmm.
They show up at another all-you-can-eat thing the next day.
I think that this is like a weekend long thing, and they
No,
just had passes for both days. I thought it was a separate.
I thought
it was a connected event.
I thought what it was the first day they went to one of those all-you-can-eat cake specialty candy places, and then the next one was like an actual ticketed event. I thought they were completely separate.
So did I.
If they were the same or somehow related, they did not make that connection enough that it made sense. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I didn't see anything that did that.
Well, one seemed to be like indoors, and the other one seemed like an outdoor kind of event.
Yeah, well, it's the reason I say that is because at the first one it was just Rudy and the friends, and they said it's like, oh, Hiro and Kyoshiro will be with us tomorrow for whatever the tomorrow is.
I guess. And then they buy the tickets for the holograms because they're going to eat. And the woman selling the tickets does not seem wildly bothered by this, minus that there is a hologram who eats there.
Yeah, she's surprised by it, but it's like, okay, I'll take your money.
And Jellymon does not care about any story. She wants to eat. She also comments on how much Ruli's eating, and Espimon is full. And then what's weird is Espimon says he's full, and then he just steals stuff when Gabumon turns his head.
Who doesn't do that, though?
I know, but like it's just funny. Espimon does weird, stupid shit. And then the time is almost up, and Ruli's still dragging them for more food. Then they go to like a cafe. She gets pizza.
Yeah, then they go somewhere
orders
else. Orders
more, and she just keeps ordering more and more.
How did they pay for this? They're teenagers.
Yeah, it's weird. And at one point, Hiro's like mentioning it to Angormon, and Angormon's like, "Yeah, she was acting a bit weird." And then
something's fishy here.
But then like Ruli freaking out doesn't like set off the alarm bells. Then she bites Gabumon's tail, and they try to stop it and holding her back.
I think that was the red flag there.
Yeah,
something might be going on.
Then they lock her in the room, and Kiyoshiro's off getting food. It's this weird, like when we say Scooby-Doo, this is what we mean. Like the weird planning, like we'll lock her in the room. Also, we're going to go
but we're also still going to get food for her.
Yeah, it's like no one's making sure
she want her to die. But...
No one's making sure she's actually okay. They've sort of just locked her in the room, and they will throw food in there. And then like she tries to break out. I don't get how Angormon is outside.
Well, he's on like the balcony.
Yeah, but like you can get past that without breaking a window pretty easily.
Well, they probably didn't expect her to try and.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that was.
That and does usually have like some kind of safety glass.
And then Hiro, ever the genius, runs in and leaves the door open.
The room. Yeah, great move.
And then that's the moment when Kyoshiro and Jellymon return with food. And I will say I like that they show her mowing through it with the packaging, like she's not even.
Yeah,
it's just
don't
food.
Even open it.
Then she's sobbing, asking for help, and then, bless us, it's Mummymon.
It's just like the fact that it's getting to the point where it's like, yeah, they're just actually wrestling with her, and Angormon has to throw her into a wall, and like, yeah, this is serious.
What I like though was they show her laying in the bed, they show the fucked up mouth and like the Luffy arms and everything, and Mummimon's like, something's abnormal about the hands and mouth.
I mean, look at his arms.
I know, that's the thing.
Like,
then
he's not exactly like, what exactly is the range for human arms supposed to be? I'm not sure he knows that.
Then
he's still studying.
Then lights pop, Ruli grows green, Ghostbusters should be called, and out pops Quartzmon, and now we can't make Hunter's jokes anymore because it's too on the nose.
Well, the thing is, he kind of lasted a bit longer this time
Yeah.
around.
And then oddly, it's weird. Like they have her revert like a little bit, and then like she gets worse in a different way. It's
Well,
odd.
she's no longer like gobbling
Yeah.
shit down, but now she's just
Well,
fucking
Yeah.
dying.
yeah, now she really has
Yeah.
like just all of the energy has been sapped from her, so now she's just
Yeah.
gone from insatiable hunger to just flat out dying.
Then Quartzmon spits out his little drones, and he was like, I wonder if this tiny thing could be one of the candy she ate that she complained about.
That's really damn observant now.
And then Mummymon's like, I know what's going on. He's sucking up energy using the tiny Quartzmons. And then Hero yells at him a bit. It responds about time being treasure. It's like, oh, come on, leave this to Angoramon at the end of the episode. We don't need this now. We have plot to deal with.
Yeah, it's sort of like Quartzmon just has to give his big spiel on time and lots of timey-wimey stuff just because that's Quartzmon's deal, and otherwise there really wouldn't be that that strong a connection to his hunger stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
I'm still not convinced that there was.
Not really.
We can say this for a fact. Until we started to see things, no one went, well, I know it's going to be Quartzmon. Quartzmon was 100% the opposite of the one people were guessing.
I mean, the one people were guessing was a stupid guess, so.
Oh, especially since we saw him in the last episode.
Not wrong.
Yeah. Then Ruli's feeling cold. They like chase him. Kiyoshiro does the I don't know if I love when they do it or when it's stupid. If when they realize something's going wrong, just whack the fucking watch.
Yeah.
And then we just get a chase with Kaus. Nice of them to skip that scene since Kaus is the only one who could have followed anyways. Tesla's pissed off. She goes to Theodismon. Both attack and do very little. And I don't remember what he said. Quartzmon says that basically they're not doing shit. I don't remember the wording, but he said something.
It's, again, timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, Quartzmon grabs both of them. Then we go back to really Mummymon. Mummimon's like, she's going to fucking die soon, you know.
Yeah.
And Gormon grabs her and starts Terrormon flying off in the distance. Quartzmon's...
you're not going to take out her organs and wrap her up and put her in a sarcophagus.
Also, can we point out that as much as, like, the show and fans kept trying to go, no, Millenniumon's really fucking powerful, this is crazy. No one in show acts this way about Quartzmon, even though the fans were. No one in show's like, oh, Quartzmon, what a threat. And Gormon knows who he is, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, it's
a Quartzmon.
It's Ghost Game. The rules aren't necessarily applicable from season to season.
It's trying to inject the gypped particles in people. Kana Weissmon sees Ruli is not doing well, same with Theodismon. And then it allows both of them to evolve. And then they blow up the arms.
They should have done to begin with, but...
Yeah, that's a weird one. And Quartzmon's missing arms at this point, and he really doesn't care. Siriusmon finally does some damage.
Quartzmon operates fourth dimensionally. He doesn't care about
He's still rambling.
arms.
And Gormon floats over to Quartzmon's like, she needs energy. Quartzmon, like...
She needs energy.
It's like, dude, you're being a dick.
And he's
Can you
like,
not kill my friend.
And he's like, look at all the baby Digimon. I've been saving, protecting them all. They're here against their will. Someone needs to watch out for them. And Ruli's like, she understands.
Yeah.
And then Gormon,
okay.
And then Gormon's like, we all want to protect Digimon. This is too much. Quartzmon, you should understand that you're protecting the babies. Then Amphimon and Hover Estimon both like volunteer to help, but people need their energy back. Amphimon started to ramble about business, and I just was like, whatever.
I got a venture over there that'll get you well fed. It's like, we got a nice food operation going on. I have some land.
And then...
Sure she does.
And then, saving the day, as he always does when he shows up, Upamon appears.
Yes.
Quartzmon looks at Upamon sadly and sends the spores back out to return energy. And Kiyoshiro's like, this is a great time to drop the digital field because we know for sure that he's not going to backstab us because that's only happened once so far. Ruli's restored.
You take Quartzmon out of
You could
DigiQuartz.
fight him even if he didn't.
Yeah, she coughs out the bad M&M, and Goramon is thanked by Ruli. He's puffish, and then we move over to Clockmon watching a bunch of Digimon, and he's worried. We see the baby Digimon eat chocolate Gamamon, and then Clockmon and Airdramon arrive, and they're saying, "Hey, something's going on. There's a bunch
of problem.
A bunch of motherfuckers are showing up, and someone is specifically telling them to escape to the human world while they can." And we see a mysterious black spot cough vanish on Gamamon.
Yep.
And then because they feel obligated to do this every other episode now, Hiro thinks deeply and flashes back to Kuzuhamon and Lilithmon again.
Maybe he should tell somebody about these thoughts,
and then,
because the fact that Clockmon didn't know anything about what was going on is really telling.
That's the best part is right around when we're thinking, they've already done this 10 times, Clockmon looks at him and is like, do you know something that can actually help? Because he's like sitting there like, stop. Like, normally when a character thinks, the idea is the visuals for us. They're not really like standing there going,
Yeah, Clockmon's like, are you not, like, could you maybe help us out here?
Yes.
If you've had these thoughts for literally 40 episodes.
Now, I will say this.
Like, are you just disassociating, or are you, like, doing something helpful?
I'm going to regret saying this, but I will say it anyways. Theoretically, we're going towards the end. If this is the proper setup to the end, I like that it's Clockmon who's there setting it up. Because he was the beginning of this series.
Yeah, that's fair. This is the sort of... This kind of development is
should
what
have
the
been
shows
30
needed.
episodes ago.
Yeah, they needed to do something like this in a while. Like, this changes the environment, or this potentially changes the environment in a way that I would have liked to see the kids operate out of for like 10 or 15 episodes, rather than, we'll get like, this is just going to be the crisis that they deal with in 1 or 2, and then they'll move, and then which will escalate to the next big thing, which will lead us to the finale.
Oh my god, AR, you figured out the secret of the series. They're heading to the crisis core right after the Advent Children.
God damn you.
And we have less than 7 episodes left.
Yeah. Hey, I was expecting it. My big thing was like, they might only do this in 4, so
hopefully
7 is not bad.
With under 7 episodes left, hopefully they reach that final fantasy.
Oh, good. Stop it.
Hey, you didn't stop me. You didn't stop me a minute ago when I started the joke, and I could hear Dev cringing, knowing exactly what I was doing.
I thought that was gonna be. I thought you were gonna stop there.
Oh hell no! Why do you think I was saying? Why do you think I was saying 7 episodes when that doesn't line up with what's left? And then
Hero. Yeah, we only got 5 left, don't we?
Hero Study Files is Quartzmon. I consider it a mostly fine episode.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say better or worse because, frankly, we were all distracted on Saturday.
Yeah, this was an all right episode. It's a good lead up to everything else. Everything was appropriately intense enough for me that I was okay with this sudden escalation.
Now, that being said, this episode gets a lot worse if we go to the next episode. And there is no follow-up, and this is just set up that then gets dealt with in a few episodes. The next
episode has to have something.
Yes, we said to this. It's sort of like when Espimon first appeared. We're like, if they do something with this in the next episode or 2, then it's really cool. Otherwise, it's dumb.
However, Espimon showed up, so like, okay, that's the thing. I'm satisfied enough. Like, it's like, okay, he can evolve him now. That's the new normal.
Well, no, he evolves on his own now.
Well, we don't actually. That was kind of ambiguous, actually, because we didn't see Kaus evolve. We didn't see if Espimon evolved on his own or if that was a hero charge thing.
I may be getting mixed up. I'm pretty sure we saw Espimon, and then he turned into Hover Espimon in the same scene. He didn't just show up as Hover Espimon. He was Espimon.
Yeah, and then Tesla Jellymon said, "Here, catch," and he's like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
and then he evolved into
Either
it.
yeah, either way,
Now, a few
Kira was
people.
around,
To
so
be fair, a few people in the chat are saying that one of the watches did glow. I
yeah,
don't remember seeing that, but fair enough.
yeah. But yeah, this is where they need to at least like they don't need to fix everything from it. They just need to acknowledge that it happened next episode.
One person in the chat saying something's wrong with the stream, but I don't see.
I've been having issues this whole time, but it seems to be better for me now.
Well, then Google's lying to us because Google's like, excellent connection. So.
Always lies.
Let me, 1 sec, I'm double checking just to be sure.
Especially Google Maps when it says off-road to the right.
Yeah.
Google, that's a 50-foot drop over a guardrail.
Okay, other chat people are saying it's fine. It may be Google's just having some issues and who knows what end it is. But yeah, you guys in the chat, feel free to let us know if anything happens. It appears to be fine for me. And then Quartzmon was voiced by Jiroto Kosugi. Long history with Digimon. Are you guys ready? This is actually like a good one. In O2 and Tamers, he was Quinglongmon.
Oh, okay.
In Tamers, he was Ice Devimon.
Ooh.
In the Adventurers Battle, he was Mephismon.
Okay, that's where I recognize
that actually connects really. That's
a
nice connection.
And his biggest Digimon role will actually make you slightly upset that he didn't show up in it. Are you ready? In Cross Wars, he was Dark Knightmon.
God damn it!
Huh.
We had Dark Knightmon a few episodes ago.
Him.
If he's gonna show up and you're gonna pull the actor anyways, you might as well just have him do it, especially since it's not like an important role.
I don't know. I just like that he was Mephismon.
Yeah.
Like speaking of timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, it worked well. And then his non-Digimon roles fall into the vein of I was skipping over like whole chunks of his credits and still pulling up too much. He was Briareros in Appleseed, Charles in Eureka 7, Tama and Hayata, the Combat Battler, Henkin in Zeta Gundam, Asuma in Naruto, Arlong in One Piece, which is probably what I would guess most people. I don't pay attention to One Piece, and I know Arlong. And then, are you ready for dubbed over roles? This is a good one.
Please.
Okay, ready? In various movies, he dubs over Tony Leung. He dubbed over characters in Ally McBeal, Beverly Hills 90210, The Big Lebowski. He's played James Bond in multiple things.
Okay.
And then, are you ready? It gets better. In the American cartoon of Donkey Kong Country, he's King K. Rool.
Okay.
The CGI one from the 90s.
No, I'm familiar. I watched some of it.
He's played the Hulk in a few things. I don't know if every movie or just some of them. He's Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible movies.
Which pairs well with his Bond roles.
Yeah. And he dubs over David Duchovny in various things, including Mulder in the X-Files.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to skip so much fucking shit. His credit list was one of those where just like you could scroll down it for an hour.
Gets around.
Also, to Ian in our chat, how the fuck did you have that catchphrase from that cartoon at the ready? Even I had to think of that one.
I'm just shocked that the old Donkey Kong Country cartoon came up. Like, that's...
Now, it
wasn't even good.
Now, here's what I want to know. Did they dub it and call it Donkey Kong Country, or did it use the Japanese name of that game, which I believe was Super Donkey Kong? I think.
Oh, I didn't even know that had a different name.
I think it was.
I don't play it.
I think it was Super Donkey Kong in Japan. Yes, it was.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the one where I always have to think about.
I don't care enough to look that up.
That's the one where I always have to think about the title of the second one because
like
there's a little.
I said, it wasn't that good.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm talking about the second game. I always have to think of the title. That's the one where the title has wordplay and everyone ends up saying it wrong.
Oh, the second game, like
yes.
Diddy's Conquest?
See, you got it correct. Everyone says Diddy Kong's
Diddy Kong's
Quest.
Quest.
It's
Yeah. No,
Diddy's
it's Diddy's
Kong
Kong
Quest.
Quest.
Yes, they do some funny wordplay there, and everyone misses
Yes,
it.
it's a play on Conquest.
Yes.
See, yeah.
Well, no, it's also that he's going on a quest to rescue Donkey Kong. Diddy's Kong Quest.
What was
That's
the third one
terrible.
called?
That was the one with the baby.
That was Dixie and
That was Dixie's Double Trouble. Dixie Kong's Double
yeah,
Trouble.
that's
One of
right.
those.
Yeah.
Double
I've never played any of these games.
Dixie Double Trouble is there. I just don't remember if Kong's was there or not. I think it was though.
Mm. I actually I've only played a little bit of 2, and that was when it came out on Switch. And I'm actually not good at it, which is really annoying to me because I'm pretty good at the first one.
The first 2 I played endlessly. The third I liked plenty. I just don't remember why I didn't play much of it.
The first one I've got down pat, which is why it's really frustrating.
Oh,
that I'm not making
remember
progress on the second.
I remember why. That's when the N64 came out. I think it was like right when that game
because the Donkey Kong for N64 is a classic.
No. The actual N64 came out at the same time as Donkey Kong Country 3, is what I mean. I believe I moved on to the N64 and only played 3 when like cousins were playing it.
Let me have this joke.
And the next time, God bless it, the instant I saw the preview, I just put my head down like I don't want to deal with this shit.
No, you don't want to try. You don't want to try to see who's guessing.
Episode 64, The Call. That is the exact moment I just like went, oh, I don't want to deal with the week of this. Oh fuck, no, don't no.
It's exactly what it looks like, and that's what's terrifying.
It's like we're still hearing people fucking whining like 23 years later. Do we need it again?
The nice thing about all the Beelzebumon predictions for Gluttony is you knew those were stupid.
Yes.
These you can't even refute it.
Now,
it very well could be.
Now, to be clear, because someone in the chat made a good line, I'm not complaining about Ghost Game. I'm specifically complaining about what the next episode appears to be. Mm-hmm. And AR and Dev have the exact same thought that I do. We're not complaining about the show. We're complaining about we don't want to listen to this again. And there's no way out of it now.
All you have to do is remember.
There's no escape from fishtails, basically.
Yeah. And of course, it's especially stupid because...
Just remember how stupid Dagomon looked in Hunters.
Yes. And then, hey, it's a shock. Ghost Game's ending at the end of March, and it's being replaced with a show that weirdly looks really like Digimon.
And the first part we were only predicting for, 6 months now?
Yeah.
To be fair, I think when Ghost Game started, I think I said it was going to end in a year and a half in April.
Oh, okay.
Like they were going to get back to that time slot that got fucked up because of the pandemic. And this is the exact show we thought it was going to be when the show was announced. And weirdly, now that we have more information about it, it's like, okay, dude with goggles, SBmon's there.
Yeah, why is SBmon there?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
In the background is we'll say that's Metal Greymon. Yamaki's to the left.
Yep.
And then it gets stranger because it's directed by the director from Tamers and Frontier. The person in charge of the music is the person who did the music for Atmon. And it gets stupider. So do the animation designs look at all familiar to you?
A little bit, it's anime.
Yeah, so the designs were redesigned by the animation designer, as you would do. The person who actually created the designs is the person who did Hell Teacher Nube, which is very relevant to Digimon, because he's the person who did everything for Digimon Next. That's why if you look at some of the eyes and stuff, they look like Next characters because he did all the art for Next.
When was the last time I looked at the Next characters? Come on.
We looked them up.
I do that a lot more often than you do.
Yeah, like if you look at this, you could go, okay, a lot of this actually does look, and the dude has goggles, and
yeah, the goggles are the giveaway.
And you know what the dumbest thing is? I think one of the weeks when Adventure was off was when because this is not like, this anime is based on a game show. it's not a weekly game show. It's one of those, like, every 2, 3, 4 times a year they do a crazy event. I think one of
Okay.
the weeks Adventure 2020 took off was for this game show.
I'm kind of interested in this game show.
It's one of those weird, like, challengey things, like, for lack of a better
Is it like
phrase,
Takeshi's Castle or something?
Yeah.
like a Takeshi's Castle, a Sasuke / Ninja Warrior type thing, where it's like you're running from agents trying to
Yeah,
get gold or
it's
something.
like I've heard of shows like that. I've never actually watched one, and kind of want to.
Yeah. So
Get
my
into it
understanding
now.
is the plot of
They're
this is like
very
my
entertaining.
understanding is the plot of this takes off the game show, like they can't do it anymore because they fucked up the Earth and everyone lives on the moon, and they have to escape or something weird, and then for some reason Espimon shows up to save everyone.
Yeah, that sounds dumb. I just want to watch the game show.
Yeah. But yes. So Ghost Game's done, and if we do not take any unexpected breaks, and I say unexpected because I don't expect we'll do March 5th. Was that the one that?
I hope so, because
March-
I'm actually I'm actually out of town
Yeah.
that weekend,
If
so
we-
it'd be great if I didn't have to do a
Yeah.
Ghost Game review.
If we do not, March 5th is no show that week for Ghost Game. We probably will take the week off, and then, cursed as it is, because we talked about this like half a year ago on the show, that if the show ends about where we expect it to, and if there's a break or two, it's actually the 200th episode of the podcast.
Hey!
Behold.
Yeah, and since the chat mentioned it, no, we're absolutely not gonna fucking talk about this game show.
No,
anime.
I'm gonna use the rest of my Crunchyroll subscription to like watch good stuff. Like I haven't seen Spy Family yet.
I still need, now that there's a mid-season break, I need to see if I can find time to watch Witch from Mercury. Also, are you ready to flash back a year and a half?
Oh no.
I'm looking at social media today, and guess what people are complaining about? The new season of Nagatoro started. People are complaining about slang.
That's sus.
Oh no, are you ready for what the slang is this time? She apparently calls someone a Giga Chad.
I love it.
See, here's the thing. I actually don't, but I do love that slang that apparently fits and works piss people off who are more likely to say that slang. I feel like
I feel like it pisses off Giga Chads, honestly.
No, it pisses off people who think they're Giga Chads. There is a major difference.
I love this. Now I need to watch this dub.
Yeah, so then we have Digimon Con. So they did one of their Vital Bracelet event things there. I don't know if people liked it or not. I know people bitch about the app a lot because I see them trying to yell at Bandai thinking that stuff will happen, and it absolutely does not. And then there was a lot. So stuff's kind of spread out throughout the show. We'll kind of go over a lot of it as we hit it rather than, but I will say I think they did the show much better this time than last year. They slopped off about a third of the runtime, and everything felt more coherent.
It was tighter.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
for like a fucking hour.
I believe Dev's mic cut out there.
It's very garbled.
Yes. I heard Dev say an hour, and then the rest was like her being sucked into Tron. That happened again. So the intro, they start with Faction. Very good. That dude's mic was fucking broken.
Oh, I know. He sounded awful in that performance. Like the woman sounded fine, and it's just that guy was just.
Oh, her. So I believe both of them have great voices, to be clear. Her voice sounded rich and natural. His voice, I just went, something's wrong with that fucking microphone. Because I can't imagine that's actually how he sounds when they're a actual band.
He either has a bad mic or he has laryngitis, one of the two.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. She sounded fucking great, frankly. Mm-hmm. Better than in the actual song. Like, am I wrong, or was she much louder and richer than she actually is in the song?
Yes.
Much more noticeable, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if that was... Yeah, her mic was great. His mic sucked. Then the intro, I saw it. I went, oh no, it's the Digimon guy.
I don't know why people have such an issue with that, because that's just how you say it in
So
Japanese.
the only show I have is he says he grew up as a fan of it in the U.S.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's
Like, he even starts talking about, like, family sent him stuff as he was a kid, and he would explain Digimon to people. And, like, what it is I think when he's trying to be energetic, he can't hit a certain pitch, because he called it Digimon plenty of times. It was when he's, like, loud and boisterous, he, like, slips into, like, an announcer voice.
Yes. Yeah.
And it makes it sound weird and fake when every other time he talks, he sounds natural and great, but when he turns into, like, the announcer,
that announcer voice, maybe he's accustomed to just speaking in Japanese.
Yeah,
with
that
and
may
it's
be
in
what
Japanese, it would be Digimon.
Yeah,
like
but what I'm saying
Digimon.
is when he just talks in English, he has a great natural speaking voice, and then he switches to the announcer voice, and his voice sort of starts to go like this, and talking about the Digimon.
Which you're not supposed to do in an announcer voice.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
So we get Gamamon.
I am an announcer. I know these things.
Yes. The Vmon suit was the VIP of the suits.
It's so cute.
Maybe of the suits, but I really like the expressions that Gamamon was doing.
Yeah. Oh, the Vmon was doing the most physical stuff, which is why I noticed him. So the interview, it's weird. There's nothing wrong with the interview. I'm disappointed in it for one reason, and that is the one last year was very much not a Japanese anime media interview. And this one kind of falls into that sort of stereotype.
The difference for me was that last year it was production staff who could open up a little bit more about what they were inspired by and what their choice and some of their choices. Where this is coming from cast, who can only go off of what's on the script. And I thought that even then they did a pretty good job.
They did
of breaking down how they felt about their various characters.
They absolutely
Takuya, did. They put a lot. Like she really. Like, Takeuchi really stood up for Takuya, and Tamura honestly gave us the best summary of Hiro's alleged character development that I've heard before.
But that's where it fell for me is, and this is technically a positive, the show overall was good enough this year that this was a lower moment, not because it was bad, but last year the interview was like the high point.
Yeah, it was like the only interesting thing last year.
Yeah. But it was still solid for what it was. Like, there was enough, and it really it's grateful very much that they had a common project in Digimon where they actually work together and have stories about working together. It's like, it was about Frontier and Ghost Game, but the fact that they worked together on Tri really tied this together.
And also, like, talking about, like, how energetic Ikeda is, which we've seen him at events, where he, like, will be moving around on stage more than anyone, and stuff like that. So it helped to point that out as that bridge thing.
I also like that Takeuchi brought up a female protagonist like a week or so after we got a question about that. That's funny.
That was clearly planned. We knew.
Takeuchi sent in the question, if you didn't know.
And then I will say, whenever Chiba does costume stuff, it always goes well. Him sitting there with the sunglasses, acting boisterous, and you can see the Alphamon sword behind him.
Hey, he won.
So, interesting thing. I did not like the announcers, but while I was doing something during the Part 2 card event, there was a clarification that clarified to me why I didn't like the announcers. No one told them what the cards were.
Ooh.
So when the first one was, I paused that, I muted it, and I was doing other stuff, and then when I noticed the match was over and they were talking, I unmuted it. The second one, I was writing articles, I was doing stuff, and I had it not muted. And they mentioned that they didn't know what cards were being used, so they were finding about the cards as they pulled them for the English announcers.
Yeah, they didn't know what decks, what was in everyone's decks, which is not great.
Yeah.
It's that's the one thing, because by coincidence, I just decided randomly to start playing with my Digimon cards. I played
Yeah, I saw
game.
your.
I
Was
played a
it a?
test game with Lucas. It's like, I think these are the rules, and
No, I
like I
saw
kind
your
of
post. It's
assembled a
like
deck,
no.
and yeah,
It's like
no, I
no,
was
I'm not.
I was off on a few things, which this
Yeah.
watching this match actually helped
Yeah.
clarify for me. But it moves. Watching these matches after having a little bit of familiarity, it does move too fast for spectating, because it's hard to process what everyone's
Yeah.
doing. Like,
But
all the players themselves, like, they know what's going on with
Yeah.
all their cards. Like, they're going rapid fire, and the announcers are just trying to catch up.
no,
It's
absolutely.
really hard for spectators to, like, really appreciate what kind of builds they're going for and what kind of combinations they're executing in the moment.
That clarification later helped me though, because I stopped listening on the first one right after they started. I'm like, these announcers don't seem to know what they're just like talking. They're not saying anything. I
They're
can't put up with this. So I
They're
muted.
just trying to
Yes.
keep up.
Yes. The second one, when I hear them say they weren't given a card lineup, so they're finding out with everyone watching. It's like, oh, no wonder they're just talking. They have to just talk to fill the time while they're waiting for shit.
Yeah, you almost have to just kind of watch the match and let the
No,
pop-ups
absolutely.
and stuff do the talking
Then-
for, like, do the explaining for you, which is not ideal.
No, it really isn't. And I feel bad for them in that case. I wish that had been clarified at the beginning, because I didn't realize that when they started. I only realized in that second match that they don't know what's going on. They're trying to follow it.
At the same time, the first match was amazing. It was a really good match to watch if you could attempt to follow it.
Alphamon beat up the Blue Power Ranger. That's all we need to know.
He did, but it was close.
Yeah.
And, like, it was kind of an underdog story that didn't quite pan out, but
and then
I liked the match.
And then we move on to the concert, which was a high point.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
so sad I missed it.
So we get I Wish, we get Keep On, moves on to, I never say it right. AR, you go ahead and say it.
Ashita wa Atashi no Kazagafuku?
Close enough. Then Itsumo Itsudemo.
What part did I get wrong?
I don't care. I'm just not loading up the image that says the title.
Forgive me. Don't want to acknowledge that I crushed that.
Oh, I have no idea if you crush it. I'm not loading up the image. I literally can see the thumbnail which says Ashita wa, and that's it.
I only put Ashita wa in my notes too.
Then My Tomorrow, Days, and then AIM talks a bit.
I loved that. I was like, when they went straight to Keep On, I was like, okay, they're not. I don't. It's like, okay, let's see if they keep the streak going. I don't think they'll go all the way through Tamers, and then she went all the way through Tamers.
Yeah, and when they stopped them, I'm like, yeah, I really believe they're stopping on one where they've said it's the 20th anniversary of Frontier for this. I really believe this.
So I was imagining, it's like, okay, I mean, you don't want to have her transition straight to Innocent, because that wasn't her song initially. Yeah. So it's like, that's a good place to stop and introduce Oda, and hopefully, like, that can't possibly be the end of it. I was nervous because that was technically the scheduled time to stop. So I'm like, really? Is that it? We're not going to hear from Oda? I imagine it was like an encore that the dozen people in the studio just clapped loud enough and they kept going.
They talk a bit. They did an Endless Tale, which was fucking great.
Oh, Silent Tale was so good. That was great.
And then I like how after it they point out, because it's something people don't know, because even most like wiki type sites, they don't list every song he is, because a lot of people don't look at the credits in the back of the booklets. Mm-hmm. And he points out he's actually done 70 plus Digimon songs, even if people don't know most of them. So he does Salamander for a minute, which was great.
That was like, who had Salamander?
And then I was shocked.
On there?
And then I was shocked when he brought up Duskmon and started singing Blader, which I don't think most people even know.
I didn't even know. I didn't know Duskmon had a song.
Yeah. In fact, if I remember, it's on the same CD as Blader, I think.
They're all on the same CD.
Yeah. Which one?
The Frontier character songs were all on one disc. They weren't separate releases.
Oh, Man, I think I only listened to the human ones. That's always my thing.
Then Oda starts to tell a story about playing baseball with Watakoji, and that is a great joke that they did not translate and most people would not get. Where he hits the ball, where Watakoji hits the ball, and he starts screaming and yelling "Yatta" as he's running, and the ball ends up being just a single, and they start calling him Yatterman. which is a classic Japanese character. And then they go and have Oda do Fire, which is great.
Nice acoustic fire.
Fire, yeah, that may have actually been the best music performance of the
The
evening.
dozen
honestly.
people in the studio had their lighters out for that
one. Then they showed off the manga contest, and they clarify some of their reasons for it. I was very confused by having Uchida there without his fucking hat. Because we normally get him with, like, the yellow pointy head. Like, I'm not even sure people realized it was him because he was not wearing it.
I did not.
Yeah, that is Victory.
That I saw.
That's Victory Uchida. Just without the victory head. They show off a bit of the new art book, which looks amazing, frankly. And then we get the wave goodbye. The ends were one of the few moments they tripped. Because I was waiting for, like, what happened last time. Which was like, oh, they're going to pan the camera over and do, like, the US toy presentation. And they start doing...
you skipped to the ending there. Okay. Yeah,
because we'll be talking about everything else.
We'll get to the in-between parts in a second.
So they do that, and then there's like a beep noise as they switch the cards, and then it's just over, and I'm like, oh, I thought we were going to do that. The end. So I guess ignoring stuff like which the subtitles were fucking horrendous.
Oh yeah, they were bad.
It's weird because like here's the thing. The ones for like Diginavi, they're not amazing subtitles, but they're pretty good for what they are.
They're legible.
These were psychotically.
These were like
what's weird.
It was like watching on YouTube and turning closed captioning on, where they're like auto-generated attempts at translations.
And what's weird is, and tell me if I'm wrong,
fish quality.
Did it feel like they got worse as it went on?
Yes.
And
the interview wasn't great.
Yeah,
I
like the interview had
at the subtitles and just listening.
Like that whole Vital Bracelet battle segment. Did they subtitle anything in that segment? I think they didn't. And then
there were parts that just weren't. Yeah.
And then the weird thing was they didn't want the subtitles to ever cover anything, so they would you know how we complain on the card game when we see the text get too long in the English version, they just squeeze it. They don't They did that here and just horrendous. Subtitles
they'd move them up.
Yeah, subtitles were bad. Yeah. The stream archive is up for a week. It's up. Period. Faction's only up for a week because they've done it in pieces and the other music is not there. So if you want to listen to that version of Faction, it's there for a week. And then we get Seekers, which is interesting in that they are marketing it in a very exciting way, but it's actually nothing we haven't had in the past 2 years.
Not really. No.
No, we've had everything here in the past 2 years.
The novel seems interesting.
Well,
the novel elements.
We've had that. So okay, look. They give us 3 bullet points. Products, I don't think we need to explain. We'll detail them. But okay, trailer, I don't think we need to either because I think everyone listening is the Vital Bracelet shorts. In fact, it's the same CGI models for some of the Digimon.
Yeah.
The novel,
it absolutely is.
So the novel, the way to describe it, it's almost exactly the same as Chronicle X.
How long is Chronicle X though?
Not super long, but this is very short. I believe Onke...
It's a couple of pages at most.
I believe Onke estimated this as being roughly 1.5 to 2 light novels worth.
Yeah, now, 60,000 words. That's not nothing.
That's not nothing. But I'm saying it's the same concept as Chronicle X. It's just longer. Now here's the thing. I will judge it better if when the first one goes up, I read it, and I don't have to spend 5 minutes deciding if I'm actually going to clean up the fucking translation, because I'm not doing that with this one. It's too long to deal with. And if
from these subtitles, I don't have a lot of hope there. But
that's my issue. Is if the quality's shit, it doesn't matter if they're doing something better.
But I think the reason is just the amount of, compared to Chronicle X, the amount of depth they're putting into this makes me think that there might be something a little more deeper with the novels. It gives me a little more hope.
I would hope so. My
Hopefully
only
it has some illustrations with it,
my
at least.
my only issue from what we've seen thus far, it very much feels like reversioning concept art that was canceled. Looking at the art and stuff, it feels like this was concept art for something that didn't happen.
Oh, the whole concept gives me massive Hacker's Memory vibes.
No, it gives me vibes of like the generic, the person saying they're like, no, what the franchise needs to do is it needs to try to be dark. It needs to be adults. There needs to be evil police Digimon and Pulsemon and Sonic the Hedgehog's there.
I do like that the evil police Digimon are the D Brigade.
Oh, I will say I like
that. That's a nice choice.
I do, and also the X antibodies are back, and there's a new third one that we never knew about.
Yeah, whatever.
And also Pulsemon's there.
I went to pet it.
I will say this: I love the 2 lower levels.
I know, the babies are so adorable.
It's a sleepy puppy!
They're puppers.
Yeah, those.
I want to pet the puppers.
So let's go over some of the First, let's go over the fucking watch, because I actually think we can go over this part pretty quickly. So
I have nothing to say about it.
So here's what's interesting. This is actually an early release for it. It's not the actual release. The actual release will be in July. The one that's up now is only up for pre-order for a week, and it'll show up in May, right after the story starts. And the way they're able to make that a bit cheaper is it does not include a vital bracelet.
It's just a sexy band.
There is no option to actually get a vital bracelet with it. You have to already have one. It's the band, the dim, and some stickers. And I'm not
vital bracelet.
And I'm not saying that facetiously. They actually are like, here's what you get. You get the band, the dim, and a sheet of die-cut stickers.
You can run around playing Ghost Game with your friends.
Yes. I will say the dim lineup's very good. Actually, I will say in general, most of the BEM memory dims have had good lineups. This one, you can almost pretend that Rearise isn't dead and buried for a year at this point. And also Andromon is there. And Tyrannomon. And also those weird little puppy babies, which we all like. And for some fucking reason, the fuckers from Digimon World 3.
Why not?
I love them.
So those are up to pre-order now for a week, ships in May. I love that they're like, if you're outside of Japan, we've made a list of places that will stock this item. And it's not listed for anywhere. That's no US, no Canada, no Mexico, no UK, no Australia. It's basically that one subgroup of South Asian countries that gets Japanese toys a lot. Yeah. I will say I like the band design, how it's different, but it feels like that's like the marketing thing of it doesn't look like a normal Vital Bracelet BE. It's special.
It looks like it was designed by Osmaria.
Yes. And oh fuck, I hate that you said that because now you said it and my brain like skipped a moment like, yeah, it's like, oh shit, that is what it looks like. Oh, Jesus Christ. The little dog icon on the dim's actually quite nice.
It is.
And it is 100% not and never was an Appmon.
Yeah, I saw some of that and was attempting to.
It never looked like an app. It never looked like an Appmon.
I'm like, people are. People are going, oh, Lugamon. It's like that's Logamon. Logamon's a wolf-based Appmon. I'm like, no, don't go there. You're going to be disappointed.
But not only that, we could see the sigil pretty clearly in that weird, horrible early image. It did not look anything like Logamon. Period.
I mean, if you're really hopeful and you squint hard enough, I guess you do. But
so
that's on you.
We have the first.
You're heavily concussed.
See, Dev, being heavily concussed is too much of an excuse for a lot of things, though. So we have the first trailer. I don't like they say it's trailer, so fine. It's kind of just an extension of the Vital Bracelet shorts.
Yeah, it's just I mean, those are awesome. So
in fact, I may be wrong. At the beginning, the Tyrannomon who roars, isn't that exact roar used in one of the clips?
I just assumed it was the next one.
I thought it
Like,
was just kind of like going for the 25th anniversary.
yeah, like this
Oh.
is just the next one in the line of these
Yeah.
things,
And then we got
which is fine because those are good.
yeah. Then we have the story bits, which we're not going to go over these too much because we'll have stuff to talk about once these start.
Yeah,
It's very much generic cyber.
it's again, it's hackers' memory.
Yeah.
There's a hacker team, there's the police, and there's
I
the good hackers and the bad hackers,
I,
and
I
they're
will
all
say the concept drawings for Lugumon are very nice, as are whatever strange VTOL dragon thing is. And
Lucamon is immune. Lucamon in his earlier forms are immune from criticism.
And Pulsemon is there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Guess they got to keep the continuity in some ways.
Yeah, it really does feel like Pulsemon was designed to be the mascot of this entire line. We have to pretend he's still relevant.
We cannot shove him in a closet.
I will say this, and at some point they do have to do like a Neo Impulse City or something. Because, like, there's not even a current version of him for the BE.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I mean, this is the kind of environment that Espimon would thrive in, so...
Oh, God.
I'm not wrong.
And then...
This is... I mean, this is a situation where Espimon could be good if he was in this. He could be used very well in this environment.
Did you read the character profiles?
I kind of glanced at them.
The protagonist's handle is Fang, and the other character's handle is Judge. He's a vigilante who works to destroy crackers who commit digital crimes. He mind links with Pulsemon as his partner, and the other two are cops. And, like, it's just, I will say, like, I want to rate it, but, like, the character profiles are all, like, the most generic things possible for this type of story. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what... Because here's the thing, like, the poster has Doraemon and Ryudomon, but they're not really involved with any of this at this point.
No.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how you integrate them into this story, which I need to see the actual story, because it's one of those things where, like, the frame is meant to make you go, this is dark and mature, and then you read the text, it's like, EJ,
It's hacker's memory.
One sec, I have to go back to my announcer voice. 1 second. EJ Nagasumi is a young man who makes a humble living as a freelance cracker. Meeting Lugumon makes a huge difference to his life. He goes by Fang, a username that he came up with himself.
And now you know why you don't use an announcer voice that's different from your regular voice.
Oh, I can do like 10 different announcer voices. I just choose not to because it actually hurts my throat.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I have to sip some water here.
Yeah.
The suffering is endless.
Now, for the actual...
Just use your regular voice and add just a little bit more reverb to it.
To be fair, the last time I did that, you had to stop me because you were worried I was making the episode sound too good. That one Ghost Game episode where I was like trying to like say it in an exciting way, and you're like, you're making the episode sound more
than the actual.
That's different.
Yeah. Okay, now for the actual like this shit's coming out. It starts on April 3rd with daily chapters for 1 week, and then it shifts to weekly chapters. It will go up in Japanese, English, and Chinese, and as we said, we all pray to Satan, Space Jesus, whoever, that the translation will actually be good, because I'm not going to sit through and revise this shit like I did with Chronicle X.
Okay, it's like praying that these end up solid.
As I recall, and Onke checks in on the show occasionally so she can correct me if I'm wrong when she hears this. I believe she helped me revise the early ones. Then the later ones, she's just like, I can't fucking deal with this anymore. And I was just doing my best. I may be wrong. Because at this point, that was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I may be misremembering. I think by the end, I was like pulling up Japanese dictionaries and trying to like rewrite it to make sense. And it came out rather good, I will say. Not as good as like someone who actually knows what they're doing, but good enough. So Japanese, English, and Chinese. Here's the twist, and it's where it feels dickish. In Japanese, there'll be an audiobook version on the site. Narrated by Gamamon. Not Gamamon actually, but Sawashiro's the narrator, which is a nice,
it's be the Gamamon voice.
It's edgy, so it'll be Galoose.
Oh, I hate that you say that because now I can imagine it in my head. So they plan for the story to be a bit over 60k words. That's about 1.5 to 2 light novels.
60k words. That is a novel. I mean, that's not 1 or 2 light novels. That is just a short novel.
I mean,
well, you have to think of like what if they do like a print release with
it is 60,000 words is longer than most of the Narnia books.
You're not wrong, but also like just my podcast notes for this episode have like a fuck ton of words in it. We will see. It will be lengthy enough. Here's what they're going to do. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say exactly what's going to happen. This is going to run for 1 year, and based on how it's received, they will either do an OVA or we will never hear from it again.
Yeah.
Or it'll be DLC for.
I'm not even holding my breath for an OVA.
I know, but looking at the art, you know what this all screams to me? It all screams that this was concept art for something they pitched
and got rejected.
It didn't happen, and now they're trying it. Like this,
they need to do something with this.
Like you know what this is? This is the pitch that was sitting right next to the game show pitch. And the pitch was denied, and they're going to do it as a pseudo web novel series to see if any of it's viable. Because at the very least, they'll make enough money just from selling the fucking watch again.
Yeah. And hopefully a plushie, because oh my god.
And are you ready for the best part? One of our predictions may be coming true. So if they're going to be pitching this hardcore, do you think they're going to have a movie this year?
Oh, yeah, no.
Because here's the thing. They could still make it happen this year, but they don't need to. And guess what next year is?
Anniversary.
It's the 25th anniversary of Adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is going to be the thing after Ghost Game for a while.
Hopefully.
I'm okay with it if it is.
And my hope is that I'm thinking it's like if they're going for 60,000 words, my expectation / hope is that each post would be like 1,000 words.
Yeah,
that would be great.
That's exactly
fine.
So here's the thing.
You can do a perfectly good web novel with 1,000-word updates.
So
I did it for several years.
Do you actually know how I mapped that out? Literally 1,000 a week. They say a bit over 60K.
Yeah, for the first week.
And the first week, they're doing it daily.
You're doing one a day. So you get 5,000 off the bat and
exactly
plus 52. Yeah.
No, 7 the first week.
Well, yeah, 7 plus 52.
Yeah. That lines up almost exactly what they say, and that would last a year.
Yeah, no, I did that math too.
And if it does well enough to continue, but to not be something else, that gives plenty of time ahead of time to do more if they want to.
Yeah, they can have a season 2 or whatever.
Now, here's the important question. If they do a season 2, will Pulsemon be there? Or do they replace him with... Oh no, it's going to be a child version of Galoose-Galamon. Galoosemon.
Let's just see where this goes first.
Yeah.
Pulsemon does seem really out of place in this, though.
It really feels like they're going, we need to put him here because he's technically still the mascot. Especially since
how long is Dreamer still going to continue? Or
I would assume that's gone because they're going to be doing the contest for the next manga.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I would assume that will be gone in the next few months, especially with it ending, the anime ending.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like Pulsemon's in Dreamers too, and that's a happy one.
Yeah,
like Dreamers is fun.
Yeah, so we will see what pops up here. And in about 2 months, we will. Isn't it so nice that it's going to start right after Ghost Game ends? It's almost like it was planned.
Yeah, how about that?
That can't possibly be it.
And then
almost like they have this brand synergy going.
I know. And then it's time for Card Army.
I'll be out for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, me and Dev will turbo through some of this. So we get the pseudo-realistic art of Pawn Chessmon Black and Knight Chessmon Black. This matches up with the white equivalents, where we get the nice, really detailed art. Then we get Miki and Megumi in new Saves art. This is their outfits from the latter half, right, Dev?
Yes, it is.
I don't pay much attention to Savers at this point. I do know this is not their DATS outfits, though.
No, this is from the later.
Yeah. Then Rook Chessmon Black. I love the scale of the artwork, where it's just like the big hulking thing going through the snow-capped mountains. You can see fire hitting it, and it sort of doesn't care.
Just trucking along.
Yeah, I have issues finding stuff to say about Queen Chessmon because it feels like the entire theme is she's standing there.
She is, and it's kind of hard. Like,
there's nothing to say; it's just there,
pasted on the background.
Yeah. And then we get Final Shining Burst and Full Moon Meteor Impact, the attacks of the two primary burst modes of the season. I like both of these. I don't have much to say, though, because they're just like cool energy attacks, but there's not like stuff to comment on, if that's weird.
They're just generically pretty.
Yeah.
But also the kind of like the color schemes of the
Digimon.
Not necessarily the Digimon, but the
weapons.
No, damn it, my brain died. The
burst mode.
The card art, not the card typing color.
Okay. So I think art-wise, the Shine Greymon attacks better. I think if the Mirage Gaugamon burst mode was zoomed out a bit and we got more detailing for the mace, it would actually be better.
Yeah, but they probably wanted to keep it about the same scale as
Yeah. Then we get Vulcan Krautzer and Odin's Breath. I'll be honest, before these two popped up, I thought we were going to get it for Rosemon Burst Mode and Ravemon Burst Mode. It was like, oh, it's two random royal. Okay, I like
that would be treating Rosemon and Ravemon as if they were equals.
To be fair, they go with Leopard Mode and Slightmon. No one likes.
I really like the colors for the Slightmon one.
I do, but it's not
technically a Royal Knight set. So.
But how many people actually like? You know the choice to make for a Royal Knight set? We need to have multiple cards of Leopard Mode.
Leopardmon. Wasn't he voted least popular in a poll recently?
Yeah.
Technically, that's the normal Duftmon, not Leopard Mode, because Leopard Mode is not considered a Royal Knight.
And gets a card anyway in a Royal Knight set.
And then Dukemon, very nice art of him. Someone said this is a shot from one of the old card games, but like zoomed in. Then we started to get parallel cards, so we get Jessmon we actually already saw. That was in V-Jump.
Yeah.
Same for Gankumon. And then Alphamon was also, although they look so much nicer. The colors really pop.
Yeah. Are these going to be like gold printed?
I don't know.
I hope not, because that could look really weird on the actual card.
I will say this. The coloring for the Craniumon parallel card is amazing. Where it's slightly darker than normal, so it really stands out. Craniumon's often one of those who kind of blends into stuff, and this he really stands out in a neat way.
This one would look good if it was like gold foil or something, because that dark color would really pop.
Now, here's the interesting one. The UL Force Digimon parallel card, I'm not completely feeling. It kind of feels like he's walking, but like...
Yeah, like...
It's like they caught him like mid-pose where he's not doing anything interesting. Like, at first you think he's throwing a punch because of the fist coming at the camera, but you look at the other one, it's like, I think he's just walking.
I thought he was kind of doing, like, the Pacific Rim, like, Jaeger walk.
That could be it, but I feel like it doesn't work for the visual of him. And then we get Examon. Examon feels like he's about to dash.
I want to see that from Examon.
No, that's why I want to say, doesn't it feel like he's about to, like, rush somebody? Like his head's kind of down a bit. It's like he's about to dash forward. It feels like that to me, at least.
He's going rollerblading.
Yeah. And then it's Duftmon again, standing there. I actually like the sword. Like it's almost like a fencing pose. sort of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that looks good.
And then, because it wasn't enough, last time I'm like, oh man, I wonder which Royal Knight's next. And it's Leopard Mode again with a parallel card.
They're really trying to sell
This
Duftmon.
really reminds me of like our criticism of the one Zeed Garurumon card.
Oh, where
It
he's just
looks
kind,
like that.
where he's kind of So here's the other issue: because he's not a Royal Knight, they don't do the parallel card in that theme.
Mm-hmm.
So it also stands out, and it's like, oh, it's eclectically doing one of his attacks, Arrow Barang, where it makes like energy mines from its tail.
It just looks awkward.
What's funny is multiple people were even like, yeah, I thought it was that attack, but I'm not sure. What made you come to that conclusion? I'm like, well, they're coming out of the tail, so I don't know what else. Otherwise, it's just like stars in the sky. But like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he's standing, but he's not standing on anything. And I don't. Can Leopard Mode float?
I have no goddamn idea.
This is why no one likes you, Leopard Mode. You're doing bullshit like this. And then we got really cartoonishly early information that tells us we might be getting a small break from the card game for a while.
I don't believe you.
Coincidentally, right when Ghost Game's ending, it's like they knew. So, Starter Decks 15 and 16 will be out in May. The names are the War Dragon of Courage and the Steel Wolf of Friendship.
I have no idea what the fuck any of these are about.
Then Booster Set 14 is in June, but there's no name for that yet. I'm gonna go for the logical, crazy guess. It's going to be Seekers. I don't think that's that crazy of a guess, honestly.
That's pretty solid.
Now, a lot of people might say, well, War Dragon of Courage and Steel Wolf of Friendship, that could be War Greymon and Metal Greymon, but maybe it's not adventure themed, except we have sample images of sleeves.
Yeah.
The first one's called the War Dragon of Courage, and even though it's very blurry, you can very clearly see Taichi and Agumon.
You got Taichi Yamato.
Then Yamato and Gabumon.
Those are season 1 outfits.
Yes.
Those are original outfits, not 2020.
And then Bell Starmon. What's funny is originally the Bell Starmon image was floating around by itself with everything else cropped out, and people were wondering if it was Apocalypmon. Because it almost looks like there's the big dice thing at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But people it is, and we don't know what the fourth one is. I would guess the fourth one has something to do with the booster set. And I would not be shocked if it's a tiny wolf person. So we will see what pops up from that. We saw a preview of the third anniversary pack a while ago. These are some weird fucking choices.
Oh yeah.
Saberdramon, who most people don't know exists or would think is called Blackbirdramon. Dracomon, which fair choice.
Yeah.
Dracomon is one of the few anniversary. Bastamon for some reason. I mean, we know the reason, but okay. Destramon, which we knew. Invalidation Plugin P, which is a remake of the equivalent card from the old card game. And then, for some weird reason, an option card for Arrestor Dramon of Prism Garrett.
Yeah.
And these are all new promo cards. They're not parallel cards of existing cards. These are all new.
Huh.
This is a very weird selection of 6 cards to celebrate an anniversary with. I want to say, it was like the second anniversary. The anniversary stuff were all from the original promo arc, but them a level up.
I can't remember.
Do you remember the original promo art? It was the Agumon holding a card, and then Pico, Devimon, and Patamon were headbutting each other.
Yeah, I have.
The anniversary card art like a year ago or so was Greymon holding a card, Angemon and Devimon were headbutting. It was all of them but evolved. It somehow going from that to Saberdramon does not seem right.
Saberdramon.
There's a lot of argument for. I could see the argument for 5 of these cards. Dracomon's an anniversary mon. Bastamon fits into generic waifu junk.
Mm-hmm.
Destromon is a rare Digimon who has not shown up in a lot of stuff up until right now. Plug-in is a lazy thing that they can claim as a reference to Tamers. And then the one is Hunters. I don't get how you argue say it's a repaint of a Digimon people like and probably don't know the name of for this one. And apparently all of these will have parallel cards, and these will be at various events and things in Japan. Then the third anniversary pack is more like it, but also fits into the vein of I don't understand some of these choices. So first up, we get the very nice frame for it, where on one side we get War Greymon, Seriousmon, and energy versions of their lower forms, and then we get the 6 things representing the 6 colors of the card game, which I think a lot of people don't realize that's what that is. As far as I can tell, that's what
I
it
was
is.
trying to figure out, like, okay, what is...
It's generically what color you would expect each of them to be in. But then you look at the 9 cards and you go, these are choices.
Yeah.
So we get Analog Boy and Cool Boy, Ordinamon, Chimeramon, Omegamon Merciful Mode, and then 4 attacks from the
Holy Beasts.
Yes, my brain froze on that.
Yeah.
These are some odd choices.
It's Digimon World plus Try.
It's Digimon World, Try, a bit of Tamers, and or 02. Actually, I guess it would be.
No,
actually,
Try. No, the 4 showed up in Try very briefly.
Actually, this whole thing may be Digimon World and Try and 02. Now that I think about it, minus the 2 kids, everything here could be attached to Try and 02. That is an interesting. I would not. I would not have picked that for the 3rd anniversary of the card game. The fancy gold-plated thing is going to be 2 cards from video games and 7 cards from Try and 02.
Everyone loves Try. What are you talking about?
It's done better than Ghost Game. Try finishes, and it leads to non-stop anime and other shit for years. Ghost Game finishes, and we're like, maybe the novel will last a year. And then they're doing the accessory kit vote again, where you get to vote on the various groups. Last year, the winner was Angelomon and Lady Devimon.
Yes.
This is a free-for-all here.
Yeah, there's too many to even
God, I love this.
Okay, wait. I'm looking at this to see who I would vote for right now if I were to vote right now.
I have a guess, but you guys go first.
Okay, one sec. I'm looking.
I just love how many different groups there are.
They're all coherent groups. Is the best part.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got everything, but yeah, there's a couple groups missing, but I love the representation.
But what I mean is all the groups here are coherent in and of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm going for Dark Masters forever.
That's a good choice. A good choice. I'm thinking, I honestly am kind of with what we had with that last poll. I do think that the Pyldramon Imperial Dramon has a shot again, just because I think some of the other ones are going to divide the vote.
So I think you'd be surprised at what my original vote was going to be. I changed it when I realized this wasn't going to come out for a year, so my reasoning wouldn't make sense. I was actually going to say go with the Ghost Game trio because it's like the way to send them off.
Sentimental favorites, but I don't think they're going to keep up with the rest of these.
But also, this is not going to be out for a year. So anything happening now doesn't fucking matter. So I think, you know what? I want to see... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say the Hunters trio.
For winning?
No, who I would vote for, not for winning.
Oh, for who you vote? Okay. Yeah, it was I voted for the Tamers bunch, but...
Okay, who do you actually think will... See, I don't think we can even guess who'll win because it's such a wild combination.
It is. It's absolutely unpredictable. I'm guessing... I'm going to guess Imperial Dramon and Pyldramon.
You know,
it could go anywhere.
If I had to guess, looking at the combinations, I think it's going to be Bellsbamon and Bellstarmon.
That's a good choice.
They kind of did win the T-shirt.
Yep.
recently,
Dev's
so.
Dark Masters was a good choice too.
Yeah.
That's a really good call.
You know why? I don't want the band shows to win because I almost feel like it'd be more fun to see like something weird and super deformed of them. Because it feels
Yeah.
like if they win, it's going to be like a very serious type thing, and it's almost funny to do something stupid with them. Like
Oh
when
my
they
god, what if it was the what the hell is this? Those figures we got in little
the
cages.
Digimon.
The Digimon, yes.
Oh
Imagine
yes,
a
of the
Bancho set of
Bonchos.
those.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I want the band shows to win, but not if they're going to do like generic, serious Bancho poses. I want it to be something cute and
You want
stupid.
something cute.
Yeah.
You want them all to be like, "Hey, Boncho Mamimon, show us your ways."
Yes.
Anyway,
And
check
what's
back in
gonna
a
have a
year.
slumber party?
Next year.
Check back in a year, and
And then,
Omegimon will win.
God bless card fans for whining endlessly. Because of confusion, Bandai has decided to cancel their plans for RBO1, where they revealed the plan was the set was just going to be the new cards, and they were working on ways to distribute the reprints that hadn't been announced yet. To avoid that confusion, they're just going to throw most of the reprints in there, which ironically, I think
That's gonna make it harder to get.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are like,
What?
no, see, we won. I'm like, no, because here's the thing. If you're someone who likes the anime and is going to come to the card game, it's now harder for you to get those characters that might let you stick around because you're looking for the Ghost Game characters.
Yeah, like
If you're looking for reprints, now you have to, instead of getting them in whatever the mystery thing they didn't announce yet, now you have to battle with getting the new cards, which are going to be decently weighted.
Yep.
Yeah, like when I pick up a card pack, I'm looking for like anime stuff and tamer cards especially. Like I got a Uemano in my last pack, and I'm super excited, even though he'll never end up in one of my decks.
And this is an example. Like, I'm not buying them regardless, so I don't give a shit. I bet you, if there were no reprints, AR would buy more of these boosters
Oh yeah, probably.
because if someone's following the anime and the card game, they're like, I can make my Ghost Game deck with this card set, and then I can fill it out later with other cards.
I have so few Ghost Game
Yeah.
cards. I have a couple of the babies,
And
that's it.
And it also ruins the idea that they were actually doing it in, not saying for now, it was going to be a surprise that they were going to reveal later on that, oh, all those cards were actually coming out.
Mm-hmm. At the same, I did buy the set of card backs from Ghost Game though.
Yeah.
I have a card back set from the Ghost Game trio.
The only people who actually seem happy by this are the ones like, yeah, we bullied them into doing what we wanted. Great, you bullied them into making it harder for you to collect whatever you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Assholes.
The only way you don't lose out, and we'll never know this, is if all the reprints were going to be like limited edition whatevers.
Yeah. Nice job breaking it, Heroes.
Yeah. That's the funny thing is especially for kids who not like really little kids, but like slightly older kids who would actually be watching the show subbed, you would actually get new card game fans from this, and there's a good chance now they're not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want the reprints, they want the Ghost Game stuff. Having a mini Ghost Game set really made sense.
Yeah.
And then, talking about bad decisions, the Metaverse lobby.
Anytime Metaverse comes up unrelated to Persona 5, it's a bad decision.
So I need to sip some water before this dumbassery.
Get your nose, your voice on for this damn thing.
So first up, because God bless them, Facebook's plan actually worked. Everyone thinks that Facebook/Meta is what people are talking about anytime Metaverse comes up. They're like, Meta must have paid a lot of money for this. It has nothing to do with them in any way. They do not own that. They want people to think they do. So here is what this is, because I actually looked through the trailer, read all the bullshit, so you don't have to. Are you ready for what this is? Do you remember Bandai TCG Lobby where it looks kind of Super Nintendo and you do the camera shit for the games? It is the exact same thing. Yeah. It is just a 3D version of that. You still have to. It does not have cards. You still have to do the camera setup and use TCG Lobby for the actual games.
Oh my god, it's a
It is.
piece of shit.
So it's a very pretty waiting room.
Yes,
basically.
but alright, for the best part, the stuff they talked about, it's like, oh, there's a shop where you can buy exclusive crap. TCG Lobby had that. Here's what it is. Before you had the Super Nintendo one, and now we have the one for the Wii.
Wii. Yeah.
Yes. It is.
You can buy stuff for your Wii, for your Mii.
Look, if someone read this, watched this, and had a different take, or I misunderstood, please feel free to email me and tell me I'm fucking wrong. I'd be very happy to hear that, like, somehow I just misunderstood. As far as I can tell, this is just Bandai TCG Lobby, but they've moved into 3D. And based on the documentation stuff I saw, you still have to use TCG Online Lobby for the matches. They don't even have the matches integrated into here. I'm 100% willing to say I've misread or misunderstood stuff, because that can happen in translation. I'm not a translator. I do my best. If I'm wrong, please let us know.
At absolute best, this is Virtual Duelist Island, where you can find an opponent and go to TCG and actually play the game.
Yeah, because at first I'm like, oh, they're going to make a virtual version of the card games, and you can somehow go into a store and have them virtualize your deck or something. And then I saw the camera setup, I'm like, wait, they already do this. This just looks like Wii instead of Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever. It's like, here's the thing. I don't even know. This is just stupid. Like, if they did not have the other service, regardless of this being stupid or not, it might make sense. As far as I can tell, this is just like, I can't even say prettier, because that's not true.
No, it's just bullshit.
It's just a CGI version of what we already had.
It's someone thinking like, oh, the kids are definitely into this stuff, right?
Yeah. And then,
for sure.
So Card Battle did their matches. And then, not quite moving on from cards, we got the results for the first round screening of the Illustration Competition 2023, and everything's fucking amazing.
It's great.
Yeah.
Some of the Digimon have, like, are highlights, but they're all good.
Yeah. And I will say this, I saw even the people just starting out who tried to send stuff in and were posting on Twitter, I don't think I saw a single bad one. Even among the entries.
Nice. I was retweeting a couple of them, like, from Japan, and then I clicked on the translation. It's like, I didn't make it. I'm like, what?
No, but like even people like, I just started out drawing a year or two ago, and it's like starting out art. It's still good quality starting out art. It looks like it has artistic flair. Like, it's all had effort. Like, I look at these and, like, I can understand why these are all the winners, but there's so many good choices out there. They even said it during the stream. It was very hard for them to deal with it, because
this must have been
so good.
This must have been really hard to jury.
Yeah. Like, and of course, so what they'll do here is what they did last time, which is they pick the winner for each one. And then
I have no idea how they're going to pick a Lady Devimon one, because that was.
And then they do a one-off. And then they do a one-off specialty prize. And then the best of them all gets the grand prize. So I'm not gonna guess what I think will win each one. I'm gonna say what my favorite of each though is. For the Agumon, it's either him eating the apple or him running by the trees, and I'm not sure which. Because those both are amazing.
I don't know. There's something about that first one, that potentiality.
The art spiral makes it really good.
That spiral is so good.
Vmon, they're all good. I have to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the fourth one. The perspective doesn't work for me. I get what they're doing, because it's the evolution scene from the movie.
It's such a and even then, just the head, like, that's such a thing for Vmon that it works really well for him. It doesn't really pop as artwork.
I feel like the second one's gonna win, but I really like the first and third. I love that style. I love
fun and dynamic. Yes. But the second one's so cute.
Yeah. The second one is really cute.
Tesla Jellymon, people went nuts on. I've seen more good Tesla Jellymon art than I would have expected.
Yeah.
So
I love all of these.
Yeah, I like all of these. I feel like
it's hard for me to pick a winner, because I like each of them in different ways.
I feel like the fourth one is probably close to what they're looking for. The first one has the most dynamic art, but I feel like it doesn't show off the character well.
It's a foot.
And the third one I think is amazing, but I think the desaturated colors will not help it win
Yeah, the
votes.
second one's probably the best for card art.
Yeah. Then Simbare and Goromon. I feel like the winner's the second one, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably. Although we've been surprised by some of these.
Yeah.
Some of the winners before.
I really like the first one, honestly.
Yeah, I like the first one too.
Now, Sukamon, I could see arguments for all these. I feel like the winner's the first one.
I think you're right. I kind of want to see 3 or 4 win. 3's just like almost abstract, and that's a good place to be with Sukamon.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, then Lady
Devimon. The
fourth
fourth one's very Digimon World.
So for Lady Devimon,
damn.
The third one, I think.
Oh God,
I think it's the third one.
Pick. I think I like the second one the best, but all of these. This is my favorite grouping of all of them.
So the first one has dynamic coloring, but I think when you look at it from the perspective of a card, I think that you cover up one of the Lady Devimons almost entirely harms it.
Yeah.
The second one is great art, but standard isn't the right word. It's
kind of safe.
Yes, it's the safe choice. The third is very dynamic. The colors don't necessarily match Lady Devimon. It feels like stuff is happening in it. You can see Angelomon pretty clearly. The colors just pop in a different way.
Yeah. The reason I like the second one is it is definitely a safe choice, but the way everything's blended together.
So the fourth one has
like the Angelomon in the background.
The fourth one has a good chance of winning, but has an issue. Out of the people that we know that are judging, only one person is going to levitate towards this one, which creates an issue because it may win a prize if that person gets a pick, but I think this skews too much to spawn Batman Venom type stuff.
Yeah.
It definitely gave me that vibe.
Yeah.
It is one of the better ones, but I think the issue is as a group vote, I don't think this one wins. I would love to be wrong. I feel like the third one is the best overall art in the confines of that you're having a group vote for it. I think if it's Kenji Watanabe picking, the fourth one wins, no question.
Yeah, that's playing really to his tastes.
Yes, that is exact. That if Kenji Watanabe was the only judge, I would say the fourth one, regardless of my own thoughts. That is very much fitting in with his inspirations and tastes, and it makes perfect sense. Then we have War Greymon. War Greymon, to me, might be the most interesting one because it feels like we get the widest variety of stuff.
Yeah, this is gonna say this has more about the judges almost than.
Yes. So the first one is a good action scene. I'm not sure it works well as static art though. There's
a lot of it will be covered up by the text.
There's too much dynamic movement in it. It almost would have made more sense if you had less of the motion energy blurring to it. I understand why it's there and it makes the art better. I think for judging card art, some of that creates an issue, especially since a lot of it's going to be covered. The second one, I think there's a good chance this one wins because it comes across as an art piece.
Yeah, this one works especially well for me too. Especially, I can imagine this one on a card for sure.
I can imagine on a card, and it takes into account the card formatting in that while it does cover stuff up, the important stuff is not.
Yeah.
The third one, I loved it. Maybe my favorite. I feel like here's how this one
would be amazing as a foil.
Yes.
Yes.
If this were a contest and we were told they were all going to be foil printed, I would say this one. I think on a normal, like, here's the thing. My screen is set up for very nice colors. It does not view well on my screen. It's great art, but like I need this to be shiny as shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially like the Agumon, the center, and like the negative space butterflies.
And the butterflies. Oh my god.
And the fourth one, I'm going to repeat something AR said about a different one, and I'm upset at myself for saying, but it's true. This is the safe choice.
This looks like cookies are.
Yeah, I was gonna say this looks like Koki.
It does, but it doesn't have the pudding look to it. It has more of a muscular look to it. This is Koki when he's drawing muscles and there's not pudding.
It's really good pudding.
And I really like the background and like how you can almost see smoke in the clouds. But I'm not sure I expect this one to win. But it feels like a safe choice also.
I could see this one winning if there were.
I want to go for the third one.
I could see this one winning if there were 3 different competitors.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have to speed up a bit. I just looked at what the time was.
We got one. Well, we only got one more, so.
No, I meant for everything else also.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So the first one, the Imperial Digimon, and we get the lower evolutions looking up at Imperial Digimon. That is great imagery. The only issue is most of this gets covered up in the card.
Covered up.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. They may not judge it by the stuff that we're judging it by, but to me, I am looking at it and I'm imagining it with the frame, and this is what I want on my wall. I don't necessarily know if I want it. Like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You need the Vmon and Wormmon there, and I don't know if you get that in a good card.
Only if it has absolutely no effects. Yeah. It's just the thing on the bottom. It has there's nothing special about this card.
This one's interesting because I don't expect this one to win, and it's some of the best art. It's almost too.
It's fantasy.
It brings to mind a story. I don't necessarily see this in a card. My issue.
This isn't so much a card as it is world building.
Yes.
It has a studio kind of Ghibli feel to it, especially like the wings.
Yeah, like I can imagine the story behind this. I don't know if I can see this in a card. I would love to be proven wrong, mind you.
Yeah, so much of the detail would be lost, shrunken down into a card, let alone covered.
The third one, my only issue is it's a great Imperial Digimon shop, but it falls into that vein of this is almost like in my head an Imperial Digimon card we already have.
Yeah, and the considering how detailed the backgrounds are in the other 3, this one the background's just a little disappointing.
See, I actually like how it's the Cloudy Storm. The issue is it feels like a card we already have.
It works. It's just not. It just doesn't pop as much as the other ones.
Now, I think the fourth one's the VIP, especially if you can get it with no effects or make it an option. Do something where it's like minimal effect, because I love the evolution spiral.
Yep.
This is one that falls into the vein of, though, is the most important part of the art. And this is actually where, like, I think it may lose because I'm not sure it follows the rules strictly well. Mm-hmm. Who is this card? Who's the focus of this card? I'm not sure it's Imperial Digimon, to be honest.
It feels a little bit more like fighter mode.
No, see, to me, it's Pale Digimon. It shows him evolving to his upper levels.
Pale Digimon would be the one that gets blocked out with.
No, but that's what I mean. Like,
stuff.
If you look at the art, the focus is on him.
Yeah.
If this were a Pale Digimon,
you're in a tough place because the focus is supposed to be on the middle evolution here.
And there's so much dynamic shit in this art. It's hard for me to look at it and go, well, Imperial Digimon Dragon's definitely the biggest and in the center. But my eyes keep pulling down to the evolution spiral. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love all the art.
I want posters of all these.
Yes.
I'm not sure they make great cards.
A lot of these are amazing images. I agree with you. Although I will say I love the ones that do take into account, like the one that we said for Sukumon that we thought would win. Mm-hmm. That takes into account the card use.
Yeah. And that's harder for Sukumon because not an alternate.
Yeah. Yes.
Meaning there's more blocked off.
Yes.
Because the lower forms will have the inherited effects.
Yeah. So I'm really, all the art there is good. And then more art, Frontier and Ghost Game. We were promised the key art. This actually looks really fucking good.
It's great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Then we get.
I just love the everyone's like, oh yeah, that's right. Hero's older than Takuya, so it makes sense that he's taller.
Yeah. Then we got the products for it. We got the can badges, the acrylic stands, the shirts, the canvas board, clear file. They really love talking about that fucking mug.
They got stuff, all right.
I will say this. So there was so much stuff on Saturday. Some of the articles I'd post on Sunday just because time. Multiple people messaged me like early Sunday morning, like, you're gonna post this, right? I need your help so I can order this stuff. And I really hope everyone, because Digimon Partners, you can't even see the store outside of
Right.
Japan.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm hoping everyone who wanted it noticed that this went up. I feel like the VIPs here are the stands and that canvas board.
Ooh, stands of the names are in cursive.
They are?
Fancy.
Oh, I didn't even
Ooh.
notice that. Looking and trying to see if they spelled the Monokawa right. They did.
They did.
And here's the interesting thing. Am I wrong, or when they announced the contest for this at Digimon Con, did they actually say it was open worldwide? Because
No.
I don't
because
remember.
remember, they said the word had to be English because people outside of Japan were entering. It had to be something that could be spelled easily in English. I'm pretty sure this is worldwide. In fact, I entered it and it let me at Digimon Partners. Because the idea is you'll get some of this crap signed. So if you go and find the link I put in the thing, and I set the answer to the question is evolution.
Right.
Yeah. So this is one of those cases I'm pretty sure it is in fact worldwide. May be the wrong phrasing. I believe it is open outside of Japan. It does not hurt to try entering and hoping, and it definitely let me do it. And then I love the teasers that are fake bullshit teasers. They show us the black D-Arc and like, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's something ultimate. Perhaps Takato would be involved with it. And if you look at the actual image, you can actually see the actual molding from the ultimate. The little the carvings on the side of Takato. Yeah. So spring 2023, we're getting another Super CSA D-Arc. I would expect to see more of the Frontier ones also, because these look much more expensive to make than the prior ones that they did for before they made the line Super. Where Garumon's up for pre-order, that's expensive. It's about $200.
Less than It's a little bit less than I thought it would be.
I'll be honest, I thought it was gonna be like $300.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. And then Digimon Con products using the logo art, towel, tote bag, acrylic stand. I actually like the sweater, to be honest. The hoodie, I'm not gonna get it because there's no way in hell this will fit me.
Better than the Hiro Takuya one.
Well, that was just a shirt. I don't like long sleeve shirts anyways, to be honest.
Well, you also live like in a place that's on fire usually.
Yes. I also guarantee you.
We up here love our hoodies.
I also guarantee you a Japanese large is not going to fit me. And then they also brought back all of the 25th anniversary and the X-Antibody goods that they did last year.
Tempting, but
yeah. So those are all back. Everything ends on March 12th. And then the T-shirt vote for Digimon Con, and the winner was Beelzebumon, which I think is who Dev thought was going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really great art from Kenji Watanabe. That's certainly I'm not paying $40 for a T-shirt.
Yeah, because don't even know like what kind of shirt it's printed on.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
no.
It could be sandpaper.
It looked like, I don't remember the listing, but I believe it was nice quality. It's not gonna fit me anyway, so I don't care. But I gave all the information people needed to order it, if needed. Then one of the VIP items for Digimon Con, the Kenji Watanabe edition Digimon V-Pets.
I absolutely fucking love both of these.
So most intermediaries are already actually sold out because they're only letting them. Everyone can only order so many of these. Intermediaries have already blown through what stock they can order for most of them.
Dang. Wow.
Now, Digimon Web did say Premium Bandai USA specifically will be one of the places that has it. I have it open in my tab waiting because this is the V-Pet for me. I'm not going to play it, as I would assume no one buying this actually would. This is basically like a collector's piece.
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
to look sexy.
Yes, I want both of these. And Here's what I think's the neat thing. If you ever want to see how important the US is to the brand, these are not only based on the US programming versions, not the Japanese. He actually integrated the old US logo and shit into it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, if you look at the Metal Greymon
Oh,
one,
yeah.
The top. Well, it's on both of them. It's the top left.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
easier.
yeah.
It's just
Oh,
easier
yeah.
to see on the Metal Greymon
Yep.
one.
Yep. There it is.
Yeah, these are very much designed with the knowledge that they will be there in the US.
National
Actually,
products, yeah.
I owe Dev an apology. That is on the Numemon one in the exact same place. It's just harder to see because of the colors.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
not enough
Yeah.
contrast
Dev was
between the green and the blue.
Dev was like it was at the top left. I'm like, yeah, I'm not looking at that angle right now. And I go to another page. I'm like, oh, it's the exact same place. The
Yeah.
colors just let it blend.
They're in the wrong 90s colors to see that.
Yes. But yeah, these look fucking amazing. The prices are 100% also priced, so they're not ultra expensive, but they're also not priced at the point where anyone should be buying these and using them to replace the $15 ones you can get at Amazon. These are basically 50 each.
I still haven't played with that one.
Now here's the only question. There's 5 programming batches for this. Do you think we get 3 more, or do you think this is just 2 off?
Is there a point talking about the programming of these?
No, I mean in the sense of they actually clarify this version is the US brown, this version's the US gray, but there's 3 other colors that have their own programming, like special Digimon on them is what I mean. Do you think?
I think it might be based on how well these sell.
I'm pretty
I can
sure.
definitely see him doing a Bell Featherland one.
I don't think that's a
much to
problem.
worry about.
Yeah, these are fucking selling out. I have no fucking doubt in my mind. They clarified those would be at Premium Bandai USA, and they also gave a list of other stores based on country. So keep an eye on that if you're looking forward to these. The designs are just so good. Like they even talked about how they're actually using UV printing to actually cure the art to the plastic rather than doing what they normally do. And then the first evolution vote ended. The results are exact. In fact, I think we called these exact results.
Really, really fucking spot on, actually.
Yeah.
Like the Gumdramon line was, was there even any other real choice that we were serious about for the Dragon one?
I think there's one. I'm trying to remember what the other ones even were.
Yeah.
Just they have a chance.
And then the one we got the generic Fascomon over to Rage mode with Astamon. Mad Leomon I don't think we called. I think we called someone else for that level, but I think Astamon we called.
Yeah, because everyone loves Astamon. The other children for
and the way they're handling this, I think, is great. Did you see the pricing?
No.
The 2 DIMs are going to be in a retail set for double the price of the normal BEM memories. There's no price premium for these at all. There will also be a limited edition version that comes with a limited version of the BE, and that will be basically an extra $50, which is roughly in line with a price of a BE. Basically, you get some gold trim, but the prices are good. We got to see all the sprites minus the bonus one. The VIP sprite from me looking is... it looks kind of fucking goofy. I think the VIP sprite might be the Savers Agumon sprite. It has that kind of goofy look that he has from the cartoon. Although Gumdramon looks goofy as shit also, so possibly him.
In the interest of what you said before about us wanting to move on, I stopped looking at him.
I'm still looking at it. And then Mad Leomon. Then they announced a second evolution vote, and they're already doing it. So the first one, which is going on now, will be for an angel/bird BEM memory. Which what's interesting is we get 2 new Digimon, not to vote on, just in here.
They're just there.
Yeah. and they've already had 2 different names for both of them. So the one is
Even on screen.
yes. So the one it was Luxmon, and there was also text somewhere that referred to it as Pico Angemon, but I believe the Pico Angemon showed up once, and then that was it.
It was on the actual
Sheet thing.
evolution
Yeah.
chart.
Yes. And then the other one, it was Archaea Angemon, and they subtitled it as Archangelmon. So the charts, I will say the focus on these are good. So we get Adventure Piomon line, Savers Falcomon line, the quote-unquote new Angel line, which also has Dominamon. Don't get to see him very often.
No, it actually kind of gives me hope that there might be some, V-Tamer.
And the new Digimon from New Century.
Oh, I didn't even notice that one.
To be fair, it's actually a very well laid out dim. And then the votes. Okay, so this one, each of us, we're just going to pick one from each level. So, Dev,
Oh,
what?
you mean I have to look at these?
Yes, you do.
God,
How dare you?
I'm passing. I'm like.
Okay, for the bird one, I think there's 2 realistic choices here. I think it's either going to be the Survive Falcomon line or the Jazamon line.
I feel like Jazamon more.
Okay. And then for the other one, which we're not voting on yet, that one is Adventure Tentomon, Lalamon, a B-line, and a Kuwagamon line. This one's interesting
Jungle Troopers.
because I feel like the votes aren't really that interesting for this one, to be honest.
No, not really. This is just kind of this isn't an exciting set.
Yeah.
Palmamon.
Yeah, but that's one. That's not like a line. It's not going to be Palmumon, 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 and then a giant Palmumon.
Why not?
We can
It should
hope.
be.
I know what the one. Here's the thing. I know what the most depressing one would be because it doesn't actually fit with the rest. Just the Morphomon line straight through.
Morphomon line.
Straight through.
Just put Eosmon in the card. Y'all know you want.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
Yeah, and they're keeping the rules from last time of the unlimited voting. You can vote for as many characters as you want, but that means you're voting for other characters. I actually like that idea, to be honest.
I do too. This is nice.
Yeah, it's like you can vote for every single character if you want, but then that's adding a +1 to everyone. You have to think about who you want to give a point to because you could be voting against your actual choice. And then we have a few photos from Digimon Con that were posted on social media. I actually like these. These are good from the recording. Then
it was a good show.
It honestly was. It was done very well this time. Minus the
subtitles.
Subtitles were shit. And the dude, I don't remember what the lead singer name guy from Faction is. His mic was clearly fucking broken or something.
That's not his fault.
No, it isn't.
That's a tech issue. I think they would
test that.
But here's the thing. Because it was broken in the sense of didn't sound right, not sounded broken, it sounds like it's his fault if you don't actually pay attention.
Yeah.
And then, God bless them, 5 more episodes of Ghost Game prints at 7-Eleven in Japan. I think the proper reaction to this one is that first image of Espimon. Just like that distrustful, you're really fucking doing this? Okay.
That reminds me, I need to eat food.
Yeah, we're almost done, don't worry. And
you
then
can head to 7-Eleven in a second.
So here's exciting, maybe the wrong word. They put up a 4th version of the Ghost Game clip collection, and they announced on Twitter the geo-lock on these has been turned off.
Yay!
I kind of poked around them.
It would have been more. It would have been more interesting if they would at least take the subtitles from the show and put them on as captions.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Although there's some introductory segments that I think are new.
Yes, it would be nice if they would subtitle those.
They need to subtitle those as well.
Yes. If these were subtitled, I would say this is a great little extra as we enter the ending.
It
But
also condenses some of the ideas of Ghost Game, the
yes.
highlights.
No,
Because
it does.
Ghost Game, a highlights package of Ghost Game would be really nice.
And
Because there are
then
definitely highlights to the show.
and then we get a reference book update of Lugamon.
It's the puppy!
Puppers. I want to pet them.
But not the better looking lower level puppies.
Oh, they'll get them
Just give
eventually.
it some time.
I know they will eventually, but those ones look better. I want the funny looking sleeping one. I forgot his name. That's not Balmon. That's
I'll boost them on.
Sure, why not? And then we get profile art of Quartz. I almost called him Zortmon. Same difference. It's Quartzmon. You really don't get to see his actual body that well in this image.
Yeah, well, he has so many different actual bodies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still used to looking at the weird the smiley tree things.
Yeah. And then questions, chat, throw yours up. Some of these we may skip, and I did not put in that many this time because I knew we'd be running long. So I want to know, since Ghost Game is ending, do you think it might finally get DVDs in Japan or any of the other non-release shows? It's hard to tell because if they haven't, it feels like okay, it ends. Maybe they'll do a box. The one oddity you have to remember is it's not like distribution for it hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened in a nice collectible way.
Right. It's a question is, do people want to buy a physical collection of it? And I'm not sure what the answer to that is.
Yeah. Like here's
it's not like Adventure 2020 where they were like cranking that out nonstop.
Yeah, and people were fucking buying those, and those were nice. Like here's the thing: if you do let's say 3 boxes of 22, 23 episodes each, I'd get them. Yeah. Then some. Okay, here's a good one. First, do we think we will ever see Atmon and V-Pets dim or anything like that? At some point, absolutely. Who knows now?
Yeah, it's definitely going to show up as I can definitely see it be in memory.
And,
for sure.
Yeah, I really do. It's just a matter of when. And then the second part is, how long do you think the card game will last? Well, according to card game people on Twitter, it's already ended like half a dozen times. The card game's dead, as far as I've seen from people who claim to be knowledgeable about this sort of thing.
It got 2 tournaments at my convention last week. It's still going.
Yeah, it's not vanishing.
It's hard to say.
Well, I think I think I commented on this earlier in the chat. Someone said something about, and it's like something about franchise, whatever. Basically, any given card game and how fickle card game fans are, the card game could last forever, or a year from now it will be completely done, and that will be it.
Yeah, all it takes is the next big thing to come in.
Yeah. Someone wants to know, can you ask about post Digimon Con? You can if you want. Doesn't mean we'll answer, but ask. Someone said, with there being 2 big Digimon events a year with Digimon Con and DigiFest, do you think another event or 2 a year would be good for Digimon? No.
I think this is good. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Well, we're fine.
A year or half year is good. If you do it like 4 times a year, that's kind of fucking exhausting because that also means you're in perpetual advertising for them also.
We can do...
Yeah, it's not like Nintendo Direct where it's like a whole bunch of things. Like,
they
only so far you can take Digimon.
Clearly don't have a lot to announce, so it's really, you're showing up for the concerts.
Yeah.
Basically.
And that's actually something else I said in the chat. The concert is basically the bait to get people to watch the 4-hour commercial. You are watching a toy brand commercial. The stuff like, oh, there's an interview segment here and a music segment here are the things to tempt in the fans who aren't going to automatically know what to buy. The rest is a commercial.
Yep.
I think that it would help if because like last year we didn't get a lot of them. I think the smaller Diginavis worked well, even though those were hard to stay up for. I think having more succinct things with hosts that were able to be a bit more personable due to the format. Because I believe this guy hosted the Diginavi before Anime Expo, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he hosted.
I never watched them, so.
I think he hosted the English only toy Diginavi. That was right before Anime Expo. I think it
I don't know
was
if I
him, and
watched those either.
I think he was much more personable. Because his job isn't to be personable in this. It's to be the boisterous host.
Those were good when we had enough news to condense into like an
We
hour.
we want a Y and that one newswoman from Try whose name I forget.
There you go.
Both of them were really good hosts.
They were.
Yes. People still share those photos of a Y grabbing the Agumon plush.
That was
Yeah.
adorable.
Okay. I don't think we're going to make more estimates about Seekers for now. I think we need actual information before we start going full on theorizing.
My joke answer to the one asking if it'll have romance and major protagonist character deaths, I say we had both an Atmon, so that's your answer.
Someone wants to know, will Savers be in next year's Digimon Con? No, because Frontier was, because it's an anniversary year. The Savers anniversary was last year, and it didn't get anything because it was a Tamer's anniversary year.
Yeah, it's
okay. I like this one. We see a Quartzmon who's a nice guy. What do you think a nice guy Apocalypmon would be like? He would offer you pizza and the water temperature of your choice.
God damn it, you beat me to it, you bastard.
Yep, that's the answer.
He'll offer you the pizzas. He'll have plenty of beverages.
No, he'll offer you the pizzas with the crusts.
Yes. Okay, here's a good one. Okay, I'm not gonna go with the word farm because she's had too many businesses for it to be one thing. Would we like to see any of Jellymon's actual businesses, not just when they're crashing and burning, is the way I imagine it.
I want to see that. I hope that's the epilogue. Like she actually has a successful, thriving business going on in the human world, and other Digimon are helping her out with it.
Ian wants to know, what was favorite announcement from Nintendo Direct last week?
That's actually a tough one.
Off the top of my head, I watched it, I remembered liking it. I don't really remember the announcements because I wasn't jumping on any of the games.
My answer honestly is more like I could have another Layton game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Honestly, I screeched horribly, like a dying pterodactyl.
Yeah,
because
I want another. I need another.
I will say
game.
I'm very happy for the Metroid fans that got the Metroid Prime Remastered, because we've had enough solid info that these have probably been done for 3 or 4 years, and they were holding on to them while they wait for the marketing of 4.
Yeah.
It appears these have actually been done for years, and everyone's kind of known that. So I like that one just because people don't need to sit there and go, well, is it never going to come out now? Let's see. Okay, someone wants to know, do we know what is going on with the 2020 dub at this point? Technically, no. In actuality, the answer may have presented itself in the last week. Based on what we've seen from fiscal reports, what is probably one of, if not the most important areas for making money off Digimon at the moment?
Us.
Yes.
Over here.
Yes. North America.
Heck yeah.
And they have a dub that is, at this point, it's probably done being recorded.
Yeah, they've gotten, by this point, I'm almost positive they have everything done.
And here's the thing. Toei's did it themselves. They're the ones who paid for it. As far as we know, it was not licensed out. They did it. They're probably waiting for Ghost Game to end, because then they aren't competing with themselves. So I would
probably our replacement for Ghost Game over here.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Now, maybe not instantly, but I would not be shocked if once Ghost Game's over, that's when we start to hear shit.
Yeah.
But can also imagine them making sure there's plenty of merchandise ready to go.
Well, that's the ultimate cheat. If they want to do merchandise, they can just take shit they already made and change the box design.
Yeah.
What was the vinyl thing from a year or two ago?
The Agumon one?
No,
Or...
they did a Greymon, a Metal Greymon, a Mugenjamon. It was that
Oh, the
vinyl toy.
Dynac.
It was Dine Action was the big Omegamon. What was the other one? It was the Dine. I don't remember the name, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
You
like
you
the
put
static
yeah.
pose.
So those were what, $20 each. You put them in a fancy box that's branded after Adventure 2020, and you charge 25 or 30 instead.
Yep.
And bam,
I would pay.
you have a toy line.
I do think I need to be given some props for predicting that it would not come up at all in the stream. Like that was my bold prediction last week, and I am absolutely
Yep.
riding that high.
AR,
You
I
won
shall
the
give you.
season.
I shall do more than give you a prop. I shall give you 2 props. Clap, clap.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Phantom, this is actually a good question. Do we think the dub for 2020 will be like Die and the anime is an English opening of the Japanese version? Like it's in English. Here's the thing.
No.
So, actually, this isn't impossible.
don't.
Toei's done this before.
I know.
I don't expect it for one reason is uh, a lot of times they do that based on the marketing stuff. Digimon, especially with Try and everything else, that audience already exists that will just take the
Yeah.
music as is.
Yep.
Die, they're sort of feeding into an audience that is very used to, like, almost all the recent games have had the dubs and it's done in ye olde night English.
Mm-hmm. And even then, like the kids are all into My Hero Academia, so like go ahead, just throw up our airship and let's go.
Here's a good one from Sparkgold. How do you think they can one up the concert next year? So I think this one's interesting because I'm not sure you can under the confines of what these shows are.
You'd almost have to have a more of a actual live concert element and get like an audience kind of response going
And the
and
problem
feel that energy more naturally
Yeah.
than they would be performing in a studio.
Yeah, and you can do that for
Unless they add fire.
you can do that for DigiFest based on what it is. Here the idea was it was a bit quieter, it was a bit calmer, it was a bit more personal.
Yeah. I think I want to see that big concert
Now,
though. It translated over into a Digimon Con.
there actually is a cheat for Digimon Con potentially.
Show the Digifest concert.
No. What would you say out of the musicians who are around now is the most actiony, like energetic singer we have right now for Digimon?
Mm.
It's Tanimoto.
Okay.
I want Volcano Oda to sing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Volcano Oda too.
So what they could do is they could open with 2020 next year because the show may very well be airing in the US in some form like that.
That's true.
And I think you open it with Break the Chain or something with energy, I think.
Yeah, that is assuming that it's getting like a weekly stream and
here's the
not
thing.
like a.
It may not even be weekly, but you could do like if it's streaming somewhere, you could do it in batches.
Yeah,
it does have to be 5 or 10 episodes.
Yeah, it does have to be a periodic thing for that to work.
Yeah, don't just have someone be able to binge the whole thing in one sitting.
I mean, or even like a dump the first half, dump the second half.
Okay, and then I believe this is the last question, which is from Ramon. It's 2-part. The first one is, with Digimon, would you want the next one to stay the same, or what would we change for next year's Digimon Con? Honestly, the schedule they gave us was good. It was honest. It was breezy, isn't the right word, but it wasn't like too bloated. The main issue was the subtitles fucking sucked, and they got worse as it went on.
They need to clean up the production a little bit, but the concept, I think they figured out the concept. They just need to clean up the production values and the subtitles.
Because, like, for example, sorry, go ahead, AR.
And make sure everyone's mics work.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. The Vital Bracelet is a big part of the brand right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have some of the stuff with it, but I don't play it. I just don't care. Plenty of people do, and they were showing off a significant time on battling and shit. This is advertising for a toy that you can go buy. And here's the thing. You could say, hey, Maybe the BE is not available in the US, but the hero is, and the hero works with this battle app. Why aren't you translating that for people who might go buy something? I don't think any of that battle was translated at all. It is
I
beyond
was
me.
trapped at work, so I missed most of that one.
I think I was ducking out for Ghost Game at that part.
I honestly think none of that segment was translated once the battle started, and that is what you can sell your toy on. So I don't understand the logic there. Why they would not translate that? It just did
Just
not make
gave
sense.
up.
Yeah. Okay. And just a small note, if anyone sent in questions that did not end up there, the ones sent in ahead of time, I purposely only put in a few because I knew we were going to run very, very long.
And some of these questions we could probably save for next week if you remember to
No,
send them in or put them in
well,
live.
yeah. Here's the thing: if you send them to me, my email is easy to find. DMing me on Twitter with the will. I always put them into a pool and make sure they go in. I believe I got most of the live ones. There's some that were sent in ahead of time that I've saved, and we'll put in. AR, what have you been up to, and what will you be up to?
I did actually on Tumblr. I did a bit of a recap for the all of Digimon Con, the parts that I watched at least. So
I
if you can
think
kind of get
I
my
saw some of
if
that.
you can kind of you can get my random thoughts on my Tumblr, firstageontumblr.com, and kind of breaks down a lot of the different stuff like the concerts and some of initial thoughts on Seekers and stuff.
Yeah,
It's a little more stream of conscious than normal, but it's worth checking out, especially if you weren't able to watch it live.
yeah. And it's worth mentioning, if you read what AR wrote and want to see, everything actually has been archived minus the music stuff. Faction will be up for a week only on the playlist they put together.
And that because of that mic issue, I'm not gonna miss it, honestly.
I would not be shocked. I
Unfortunately.
would not be shocked if they plan to keep it, that specific music segment, and that's why they're pulling it. Because here's the thing, not my favorite song. I think the music sounded good. I don't remember what the name of the either singer is. She sounded great. His mic, like we said, it was fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If there's a specific segment we talked about, check the playlist they put together. You can see it. Dev, what
Saw
Wikimon article would you like people to read?
Lugamon because Puppy.
Puppy.
Definitely ran too long tonight, but I think we all knew that was happening.
Yeah, I did nothing
I
but after this.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to stick in 5 or 6 pre-prepared questions in case we don't get enough live. This time I stuck in 3 and went, that's maybe even too many.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you sent in a question live that was not answered, throw it at me. I'll see where I can fit it in for next time. Thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you for listening to the...
We will have room for blind speculation on Seekers in the coming month.
We're gonna give a little bit of time before we go for the mass blind speculation, because at this point there's a dog, Dorumon and Ryudomon are sitting behind him.
And the cops have the D Brigade as partners.
Yes, there's plenty to theorize for. We will theorize for a lot of it later. Sometimes it's nice to let stuff sit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
like
thank you everyone for showing up, especially since we recorded a very long time today.
For sure.
We will catch you guys later.
I'm impressed how many people stuck around for this. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Especially because the long ones, we kind of expect people to dip out, and people kind of haven't.
No.
what is wrong with all of you?
They apparently find us respectable people worth listening to.
I mean,
I kind of assumed it was like going to a zoo and...
Our speculation is manageable and realistic.
Yes. It's not, we expect, Jesus himself was going to show up at Digimon Con and give you everything you ever wished for since you were a child.
You ask us for a bold prediction, we'll tell you what's not happening, and we'll be right.
Yes. So we will catch you guys all next time. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.